we are going to do question and answer period now. Are you excited for that?
I'm going to do my best to answer your questions. Yes.
Okay, here we go. Winter potholes. They're amazing. What's going on with the potholes situation? And if somebody sees a pothole that they want filled, where's the best place to get some help for that?
Yeah, winter potholes are a fact of life in Canada and in some of our cold areas, cold climates. The freeze-thaw cycle we've talked about before certainly takes its toll on our roads. Potholes can be reported to, on our city website or to our customer service concerns, issues. They'll be given a tracking number. It'll be forwarded to the local superintendent, and he will, we have a certain number of days to get back, depending on how bad the pothole is, to get it fixed. So winter's a little bit bigger of a challenge with, ice and snow and water that fills these potholes. And people need to keep in mind that our plow drivers are the ones that fill the potholes. So when they see, we had a stretch over Christmas, for instance, where 7 days in a row, our guys were out clearing, our guys and ladies, we're out clearing the roads, salting, sanding, just from some of the weather conditions. And when they're doing that, of course, they don't have the ability to fill the potholes. So we have to be patient. We have the crews, but when we get those stretches of sunny days, when they don't have to be out in their plow trucks, then they are certainly out filling the potholes that people have reported. And we also have folks that drive around, assessing our roads as well, and reporting in when situations get really bad. So just let us know, and we will do the best we can to get it fixed.
See, it's one of those things where there could be nothing one day, but then the next day, it's there.
True. And, yeah, it's true. And you know what? And they even get filled with ice, right? Sometimes it gets really cold and they're filled with ice, and it's like there's no potholes. The road is perfect. It's a nice road. It's perfect. And then all of a sudden you get a little mild spell where it melts, and then there's all of a sudden out of nowhere there's a huge pothole. So winter is certainly a challenge. We can't put a hot mix. Asphalt plants aren't open, so it's a cold mix, that we have to put into a hole, and it doesn't work as well as the hot mix in the summertime. So it's really just a stopgap measure to get us through to spring when we can fix it properly.
What is happening to the winter recreation sessions? And another question is, if I did enroll in this, will I get my money back?
Short answer is yes, you will. Obviously, with the lockdown and the provincial guidelines, a lot of our winter programs have been canceled. Our facilities are all closed. So, the swimming, hockey arenas, anything that's been canceled, you'll get a full refund back. Fitness classes, anything that you've signed up for and paid. If it's a membership, they'll extend your membership, if that works for you. If it's shut down for 3 months, they'll extend it at the end for 3 months. And if you don't want it extended, you'll get a refund. So we have a lot of information on our website at the city that talks about all the programs and how to go about getting a full refund. But we're hoping we can get some of these programs back as soon as possible when it's safe for our residents and our staff to be able to offer them to the public.
I heard Kent Street in Lindsay construction has changed its plan. So what exactly is taking place?
Yeah, a little bit. The plan was from January till, April or May to really focus on William Street, the main street, Kent Street, from William to Cambridge. And then what they were going to do was do some of the side streets over the summer and then go back from Cambridge to Victoria and do that sort of in the fall after Labor Day. That was the original plan, but with everything being shut down and the downtown being pretty quiet right now, they've decided to just go ahead and keep going on Kent Street all the way to Victoria. So when they're laying their infrastructure in the ground and digging up the roads, they're going to go straight through and try and get as much done, right now as they can of the main street. So hopefully in the spring, when we start coming out of this pandemic and getting business back to as normal as we can, then the majority of the construction on the main street will be done. So we just thought we'd take advantage of, the unfortunate situation and try to be as least disruptive to people as we can. And again, take advantage of the fact that it's pretty quiet down there right now. So let's keep going and do as much as we can. And then when things are a little busier, we'll focus more on the side streets. So I think it was a good decision by our engineering to proceed and do
Mayor Andy, tell me about the large bins.
that. Recycle bins. Yeah, council made a decision recently that we have some residents that use large recycle bins. 95 gallon, I think they're called, and what they are is they're commercial bins. You see them at some of the businesses and some of our apartment complexes, multi-unit complexes where, to hold high volume. So some residents have bought some and they've started using some, and for the longest time, or for a while, our Miller, our waste guys, waste contractors, they were picking them up. But more and more people are starting to use these commercial bins, and it's becoming a bit of a time constriction. So there was a bylaw in place that they're only to be used for commercial or multi-residential. So what we're doing is we're going to start enforcing that bylaw, and unfortunately, we're not going to let residents drag this great big commercial bin to the curb. And so we're looking at a few other alternatives. I know it's going to be a little tough for people that have maybe gone out and bought these, but they never really were allowed. We just, our waste guys were picking them up. And now we found out that the cost to continue to do so is quite substantial because of the time it takes to empty one of these bins with a machine on the side of the truck. Some of the trucks don't have the machines, so it's a big bin for our men and women to be able to lift. So we're looking at some other options where council's going to look at whether whether we can do it a little bit differently. There is a smaller mid-size bin, a 65 gallon, I think it is, that a lot of residents use because they like the fact they can wheel it and it has a lid on it. So for seniors, it's easy to manage. Those are still allowed. Those are fine. Always have been and always will be, but some of these big commercial bins aren't going to be allowed for residential pickup. And yeah, a few people have commented that it's unfortunate and they're used to it, but we'll look at some other options to try and make recycling and waste reduction as easy as possible as we go forward. So.